host for today, and we're going to be playing some more Nier Automata today. Automata? I don't know. But, I'm going to be honest, everything so far has been acting really weirdly. So, you know what? Just before as a prep, I'm going to go check the other room to make sure that the stream is actually running. Because everything has been going wrong so far today. So, let's do that quick. I'm going to take my blankets with me. It's fucking cold, so I want to be snuggled up in them. Aha! It is apparently working for now. That's something. There's a plus at least. Yeah, so this game, I swear, decides on its own volition how it's going to be streamed. I have been running it on Game Capture for the past couple of weeks. And it's worked fine. Like everyone knows, I started this series with Game Capture. It worked for a few weeks, then decided it didn't want to work, so I switched to Window Capture, which worked. Then Game Capture worked again, and Game Capture's better. It looks slightly better. I don't know if you can really tell on the videos, honestly, but it looks, to me at least, slightly better, and it runs a little bit better. And there's no when I Windows Capture, there's like a weird little border. So there's that. For me, it doesn't show up in the capture, I don't think, but it does show up for me. And now then it stopped working again, so now I have to Windows Capture again. I don't understand how this game does this. It's just so fucking bizarre, it's beyond me. It doesn't have any oh, there's been a small update to my drivers, so now it works like this. No, it just does it when it wants to. When it feels like it, it just does it. So, I don't fucking know at this point. I have been to town though, and I also have eaten a lot of KFC. So, I'm likely to be a little sleepy during the stream. I always get super sleepy after eating KFC. Okay, control scheme. Yeah, okay, so it did at least reset my control scheme this time, because it did last time. Jesus. So, yeah. Today's been interesting. I'm just really tired. I went out to the shops today and got myself KFC and a bunch of sweets, mostly. I mean, Halloween's ended now. Also, I hope everyone had a great Halloween. I had a lot of fun. Played some board games on Tabletop Sim, played a lot of Among Us. Once again, I got imposter quite a bit. I've got to remember how to control this game, give me a minute. Yeah, I don't remember what our actual objective was last week. I remember we've been searching around the Forest King's castle. Now, we actually met the Forest King. And we did about 30 minutes of platforming. But other than that, I don't remember what we were doing. Quests. Okay, there's a Trial of the Sand. Which says we should get some levels before doing Trial of the Sand. Tell enemies to be vanquished. castle. A great treasure in the forest, wandering couple. That was the 2 androids. That's the escort mission, which I can't be asked to do yet. Okay, I think it's I think I was doing the tell an enemy that there is no more monsters. Or I don't remember what we saved them from. We dealt with something somewhere, and we now have a quest complete. Oops. I just remember. So yeah, I'm likely to be a little bit sluggish. Sorry. I like to be a little sluggish today. Because I very rarely eat before streams anyway. But we got KFC, so you gotta eat it while it's hot, right? Oh, that was easy. What happened to the other 2? There's usually 3 around here. Oh, there it is. Well, there's usually at least 2, I suppose. I think we got the 3rd one one time. Daka daka daka. Retrieve the body. Yeah, what was I saying? I don't know, I am so tired. Or not exactly, it's not exactly tired, it's literally sleepy. You know that sleepy you get when you've just eaten like a really solid meal? I'm quite a fan of KFC, personally. It's not my favourite like fast food place. It's my favourite fast food place that we've got in the area. Like not takeout, but like just like McDonald's, Burger King, that kind of stuff. I've always liked KFC best. I like my chicken. But it always makes me super tired and super lazy afterwards. So I might actually do a slightly shorter stream this week for that and sleep. Also, it doesn't help that I have not had much sleep today. As one of the reasons I actually got KFC was because I was feeling so tired already. I did find a book that I'm tempted to buy. I love reading, if people didn't know that. I'm a huge fan of fantasy novels, usually. To the surprise of literally no one, when it comes to what my favourite kind of book is, it's fantasy. I love a good story, good adventure novel. And that's usually my favourites. It's classic, like, coming-of-age fantasies. My favourite book series of all time is the Belgariad and the Malorian books. They are absolutely fantastic, they're my favourites. But I do like most adventure-y, like fantasy adventure novels. Like I love the Shannara books, for instance. Like Lord of the Rings, obviously, I like. Shannara books as well are fantastic. Sword of Shannara, honestly, is like it's Lord of the Rings again. To be honest, the Sword of Shannara. It's like you can tell the basis for Sword of Shannara is just it's the Lord of the Rings again. There's obviously a lot of differences, but the story is very similar. But not in a bad way. And the Sword of Shannara was the first of the Shannara books. It's technically, there is a prequel now. There's been a prequel probably longer than I've been alive. But it was the first one written, so it's the first one I read. I'm actually not sure I've ever read First King. I don't think I have. I don't think I've ever read the prequel. I haven't finished the Shannara books, is one of the main ones, because there's so damn many. I've forgotten where I was up to in the series. There was quite a few. But my favourite one of the Shannara books that I read has got to be Elfstones. Elfstones of Shannara, if you haven't read the books, the Shannara books, it's worth reading them just for Elfstones. It's technically book 2. Like, you can read First King, but, like, my dad was the person that introduced me to those books, and he says, you don't really need First King to understand where it's coming from, because, as I said, Sword of Shannara was written first. So read Sword of Shannara first, would be my advice. Or read First King because it's the prequel. But I read Sword of Shannara, and I read Elfstones was next, and it's a fucking good book. It's what the Shannara TV series was based on, and I have to say, having watched some of the Shannara TV series, the TV series is such a terrible abomination of that series that it made me genuinely upset. It's almost as bad as what they're probably going to do with The Watch show. Actually, no, it's probably worse than that. The Watch, I've seen a couple of clips of The Watch show that's coming out. And at least it looks entertaining. If nothing to do with the books at all. You know, if you... 25. So your hard types something else. Well, not to brag, we are state of the art. Units, not like the A2 or those old mod. Oh, A2. Attacker number 2. You know her? No, not. I'm sorry. Can I ask one more favour of you? Can you give me any information you have about the old A2 Yoha unit? Anything at all? That's funny, I've been trying to find more information ourselves. Why are you asking? I just need to be sure about something. Okay. The name is past acceptance. Interesting. So there's some connection there. But yeah,
She wants intel on A2, does she? Where should we start?
We could check out the energy reactions generated during battles. The fusion reactors of androids and machine life forms shut down when they're destroyed. And we can detect the energy release during that process. We're the only units doing any combat missions in this area, right? So if we detect any stray energy reactions, it probably means A2 is involved. Yeah, okay. We've got some readings around the abandoned factory. I'll put it on the map.
Cool. May as well, right? I will read the description for this one. Quests. Enemies past. Target location marked the map. Oh, it's not any information. I was recalled something about hearing the name of A2. Wants to help find more information for where to go. Right. But yeah. Yeah, honestly, today's stream is likely to be a little short, just on sheer sleepiness, essentially. But I'll go for at least like an hour or so. Gotta give you guys something. Even if it's just me, like, running around nattering for a bit. Let's just retrieve it. Okay. But yeah, I really like the Shannara, the Elfstones Shannara book. Never watch the series is my advice. Seriously. The TV series was awful. I watched quite a few of the episodes. I watched up to one of like the biggest breaks in the canon of the series, essentially. There was one moment where it was like, okay, this is like completely and utterly wrong. for most of it. But it's like, I'll give it. Like, you're gonna make it a TV series. I kind of get it. But there's limits, and one of the major like episode endings just straight up didn't happen in the book, and it like makes one of the most badass characters in the entire series just seem like really pathetic in it, honestly. If you've seen this series, it happened, if memory serves, like episode 5, I think. It was the ending of one of the episodes really early. And that's all I'm going to tell you, because if you do genuinely like the series, like, props to you. I hope you've never, I hope you've probably never read the books, if you like the series. Which, to be honest, is kind of like, there's a couple of things like that. Usually it's movies. If you've read, the Percy Jackson books, that's one of the big ones for me. If you've read the Percy Jackson books, you realise how bad the movie is for Percy Jackson. But on its own, in a vacuum, it's not an awful movie. It's certainly not a good movie, but it's not awful. And then you read the books and go, yeah, this is really, really shit. But again, all of this, just my personal opinion. I want to clarify that. I think it's a fairly agreed upon opinion in this case, but it is technically my own opinion, and enjoy whatever you like. But yeah, the Shannara TV series I despised because of... I got up to a certain point and just went, I can't watch this anymore. It's that bad. It's that much of like a break. Oh, there was two things in the episode as well. They turned... This isn't a spoiler, technically. They turned one of my favourite book villains into something completely unlike himself. Okay, in the Elston and Shannara, it's all about demons, right? That's the whole shtick of Elston and Shannara is the demons are being, like, released, essentially. They were bound up infinitely long ago. Demons were bound in a war with basically the good Fae, essentially. Basically the elves at the time. Classic fantasy world. Right. The elves won the war with the demons, but because they didn't have the demons to fight anymore, they kind of just developed over time to not have as much magic and power as they did previously. So they just kind of, they weakened. They became, like, fairly normal. Like, I think they're, like, a little bit, they're more agile than humans, but they're not, like, Aragon elves who are just better in every way. They're a little more like the elves from Lord of the Rings. Like, they're very, very good soldiers. And they're very proud, and they've got, like, their own, things. They've got the best, they apparently had the best army of all the races. Like, the finest army, the best trained. Like, one of the two finest armies, at least. I'll get to the other one maybe I took... That's weird. But yeah. So the elves became like a fairly normal, reasonable humanoid.
Use pot fire to force him to stop.
Hey, I remember you from the other day. Sorry, starting around away, roll away, I guess. Hey, my name's Emil, this is my shop. Wanna buy something? Got the best prices anywhere. This is bizarre. Oh, fuck, okay. These are really good. Berserker. That seems cool. Thorns, reset. Jesus, okay. XP gain up. $21 cost. I don't use my pod enough really for that one. That's not a bad one. I can start fusing some of these if you make that. Oh, come and take a look. Again, what was that? You want to know where I live? I didn't ask that. Well, I live deep, deep underground. Pitch something deep, then go deeper. Feel free to visit me anytime you want. Okay. I got an achievement for that. But yeah. So the demons were basically locked up. They're now breaking through. And there are 3 which come through first. It's the leader, it's the most powerful demon. And his two particular minions. His most powerful minion. Or I say his most powerful minion in quotation marks because it's a monster that he basically he essentially feeds, so it does what he wants it to because it gives him. I'll explain in a minute. And the changeling. Give me a second, game. I've just got to ban this person. Ban. If I ever see one of those bots, I'm just immediately ban them when I see the message. But yeah. And if they're not a bot, and they just say, oh, you want to find followers, don't ever do that to me. Just tell your friend. If you actually want me to do followers, just go and actively, like, tell people that you enjoy my show. Because hopefully you do. But yes, what was I saying? Oh yeah. The Changeling, which is literally does what it says on the tin. The Changeling. It's a spy. It's quite powerful. Like, it's nothing crazy, scary, powerful, but it's quite a powerful creature. But the main shtick about the Changeling is that it's a spy. So it's telling the leader of the demons everything, basically. So that's one of the 2 demons that the leader of the demons, called the Dag de Moor, that's what his name is, brings through. The other one that the leader of the demons brings through is called the Reaper. Now you guys might... Now, anybody who watched my...
That's new.
Enemy detected. Go. Show no mercy. Glory to machine life forms.
Engaging. Pod, analyze the enemy.
Oh, he's taking damage, just not a lot. Okay. And the Reaper is one of my favourite villains, really. Anyone who saw my stream ages ago... Interesting. Yeah, anyone who saw my stream ages ago, which was a one-shot, the one-shot D&D that I did with the Northern Fangs, I based the monster, the main big scary stealth monster, on the Reaper from the book. It was horrifying, it was a stealthy monster, it was possibly the most powerful demon. It was the only one that didn't listen to the leader of demons all the time. Yeah. But the Reaper it was insanely fast, insanely strong. Basically, you couldn't hurt it. It was essentially invisible. It wasn't completely invisible, but it was like kind of grey looking, and it just blended naturally into the environment and moved so easily. And its only thought, its only instinct was to kill things. It was such a shit your pants scary monster for the book, because it was, as far as it was concerned, like as far as the book was concerned, for a lot of it, invincible. It's one of those, it literally was like supposed to be just the spectre of death, essentially. With these things, I'm missing something here. I got out of range of them. Okay, I'm missing something about this enemy type. I've just got that kind of feeling. Okay, those things apparently are essentially unkillable. At least I'm not going completely insane. Holy fuck. So yeah, the Reaper in the book is this big, it's like 7.5 feet tall, clawed, cloaked monster, essentially. Which its only instinct is to kill things. It doesn't need to eat, sleep, breathe, pretty much anything. It just kills shit. Brutally and violently, usually. And it's such a cool, good villain. It's a real terrifying monster. And one of the things about it is, like they say at numerous points how dangerous this thing is. Because at one point they go to an area which is known to be insanely dangerous. Like there's monsters just in the woods around the area. Anything that goes into the forest dies, essentially. This thing cut its way through the forest and just left a trail of destruction. And the people go, yeah, this thing's a real problem. Why? Because it went through the forest. It made a direct line and didn't stop for anything. It just killed everything that tried to fight it. It's such a monstrous villain, and it's such a good one because they never know when it's going to show up until it's there. At no point do they have any idea that the thing's going to show up because it's basically invisible, as I said. There's only... They also want to point out, at this point, I'll say a little spoiler for the book. There is a weapon, which they find, which is called, it's the Elf Stones. Surprise, surprise. Which are really powerful. Like, they're insanely powerful, ridiculously strong weapon, particularly against demons. They basically use, like, the old magic of the elves, and they're designed to, like, kill demons. So they're very powerful against everything magical, but against demons particularly, it will fuck them up. The Reaper's so heavily armored, like, it's so tough, that it can actually shrug off hits from the Elf Stones, which have roughly the same, like, power output as, like, a nuclear weapon. In, like, laser beam form. They're really dangerous weapons. They're really powerful weapons. And at one point they hit the Reaper square on with it, and it just pushes it back. Which, admittedly, the Elf Stones were the only thing so far that phased it in any way. But that just shows how terrifying this thing is. It was supposed to feel like it's completely unstoppable. And I love that as a villain. It's just plain, quick, clean, pure. It's a killing machine. You don't fight this, you run the fuck away from this. And try to keep it at bay as well as you can. It's a really scary monster. And in the show, I saw a thing, it was confirmed to apparently be the Reaper. It's just some Viking-looking, like, dude. Like, it's just some, like, 8-foot predator-looking thing. With, like, 2 battle axes. And this is the terrifying spectre of death that it's supposed to represent. It was just such a fuck you to the concept of the monster. Like, the Reaper was so cool. And they reduced it to that. Like, it was a decent monster if it was just, this is a generic monster in the show. If it was a generic demon, yeah, sure. I mean, that's not a terrible design. But don't make the Reaper into that. Oh, it was such a disappointment. But yeah. Ah. This is bizarre. Yeah, it felt genuinely like an insult. And this is even more so for me, who adored the whole concept of the creature. It's much more of a... It's one of the most biggest, like, fuck yous I've seen on a show. For one of the coolest things. It really is. Now there's certain shows which is like, they're an adaptation, you can tell they're an adaptation and it's not bad. But that one just was an insult. It felt like, at least. Nah. Then there was, what other shows are there? There was one thing. Oh yeah, book adaptations. I'm not looking forward to the Watch, or whatever it's called, the Terry Pratchett guards thing. It looks like it'll at least be funny, but it looks like it will be very bad. It looks like a terrible representation of the books. Like one of the biggest ones in that though, which I'm not looking forward to. Like no insult to the actress at all, because I'm sure she's great. But it's what they've made. It's what the person they've made be Sybil Ramp. It's what they've made Sybil Ramkin. Sybil Ramkin, if anyone's read the Guards books, is a proper duchess. She is gentle as can be. She loves like the swamp dragon. She's like a she's a dragon breeder. Those little tiny adorable swamp dragons that self-destruct occasionally if they get like overexcited. She's a real duchess. She's like she's an older kind of big lady, but she's supposed to be so sweet, so like proper lady duchess. She's a bit like don't give a fuck about it early. But she's proper like gentle, kind of like outdoorsy lady. Like proper duchess lady stuff. In the couldn't hurt a fly kind of personality. In the show, she is a vigilante? For some reason. Like they've made her into a vigilante and I don't know why.
Enemy detected. Go. Show no mercy. Glory to the machine-like wolves.
Engaging. Pod, analyze the enemy.
I can have 9S do against them. It's got to be special units, right? There's the Goliaths. Adam and Eve. Goliath tank, the singer, the forest king. There's nothing on it. Enhanced machines, small stubby medium biped. It's neither of these. It's definitely not an android. It's gonna take a while. Yo, fuck you. I'm just gonna avoid you. Hey, Rue's been ill all weekend. It's unfortunate. She had a bit of a bad eye. We think she caught it in play fighting one of the other cats. But it's really unfortunate because she's a real sweetie. But yeah, it was a weird thing in the guard that they're making guards. A lot of the other things is like it's strange. Like they made Cheery Littlebottom, the guard's alchemist. From it is just weird. Some of the they made Cheery into a human for one, which was bizarre. Angua, like I don't actually mind the casting on Angua. Honestly, Angua's is fine. She's like, I'm surprised they didn't use the same casting as they did before because they actually had Angua cast previously. Little strange that she's in the watch at the time, but I guess they wanted to bring her in. She's one of the best characters in the watch. Nobby and Colon just aren't in the show, which is unfortunate. Carrot is fine, I guess. From the clips I've seen, Carrot seems alright. I haven't seen. There hasn't been enough time to really show Carrot what he is basically. Like to see if he's really the huge, like really good in a fight, noble as hell, like real scion kind of character. Like really, really ridiculously nice person. I'm curious if they'll make him like as good as he's supposed to be. Like a little bit dense, insanely honest, very literal. Really, really good in a fight. That kind of stuff. And I kind of hope that it does make it that. Vimes looks bizarre. To be honest. I do not understand. Vimes is supposed to be like grubby old pro cop. And the actor, from what I've seen, appears to be doing an impression of Jack Sparrow. Crossed with the Onion Knight from Game of Thrones. It's a little weird. I don't know. Maybe it's really good. I can't quite get it. I saw a lot of people complain that Vetinari was that they made Vetinari into a woman, and I personally don't think that's actually that bad at all. I'm surprised they didn't, but I'm assuming they couldn't get the budget to get the previous actors, for Vetinari, because the previous actor for Vetinari was Charles Dance for the special, what's it called, movie, TV movie, the 2-part postal service movie. They had Charles Dance be Vetinari, and there is no better Vetinari. But I hope that the actress does a good job. Like I could totally imagine Vetinari like being a woman. It wouldn't really change the character, to be honest. So that's my thought, really. A lot of people go, "Oh, but this casting is not supposed to be that." I mean, if it doesn't change like a major thing about the character, then who the fuck cares? It's my thought. strange. They made some interesting calls, essentially. Oh, and the special effects did not look good, but it's a BBC show, so they don't have the budget. There was some special effects that looked good. Like they had this tiny dragon on the screen for a couple minutes, for a couple of seconds. Like, oh, that looks really cool. So yeah, I hope it ends up being good. I don't think it will, but I hope it does. Same with the Monster Hunter movie. The Monster Hunter movie is gonna be shit. I am calling it. But I'm curious if it's going to be the movie that shall be not be named based on a certain really good cartoon. It's a cartoon. Like Avatar: Last Airbender was a cartoon, right? Yeah, that particular movie was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. So that's the bar I've got it set at. He's like, is it better than this? If it's better than that, I'll consider it a success. I just don't like the idea of Monster Hunter where they shoot the monster with like machine guns and tanks and things. Like the whole purpose of Monster Hunter is the monster hunting with a sword. And there's a couple of characters that have got like stuff like that, but it's gonna be just awful. I also just recently saw a trailer. It was like a little clip from it where it has Rathalos versus Gormagala, which I totally get why they're putting in Gore. Gore is one of the most beloved monsters in the history of Monster Hunter. I believe he's the overall like favorite flagship monster. Seriously, not my personal favorite, but he's definitely up there for me as well. He's a very cool monster. I 100% understand why. I just haven't played the old game, so I didn't like get the the full shebang that Gore is. But so, yeah. I just don't like the idea of it, and it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough to watch. But hey, we're gonna see Diablos, like, wreck some shop. Even though apparently it had another one of those, like, oh yes, Diablos is hunting for its prey. You know, yes. Diablos, the herbivore, hunting for prey. They're just really territorial. That's the whole point of Diablos, is they're a super aggressive herbivore. The very few things can actually fight and hunt because it's just so big and aggressive. But yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna call it here. I'm starting to flag, honestly. I'm getting tired. Yeah, apologies this was a really short stream, but again, I am so knackered today. Yeah, so you got about 50 odd minutes of me just nattering. So yes, apologies about this particular stream being short, and apologies that I essentially did nothing in it. But jeez. I'll do more, guys. I'll do more tomorrow, okay, guys? Again, apologies about cutting it short, but it has to be done. I just need a rest, pretty much. I'm not feeling 100%. I just need to rest up. So I'll put some. I'll see if I can. I think I might be collecting the end of Greedfall, so I might push Greedfall a bit further on Thursday. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, yes, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Have a fantastic evening, every single one of you. Keep playing video games, keep being awesome. You guys are the best owners on Twitch. Yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow. Again, sorry for this being a shorter stream, but I'm ridiculously tired, guys. I'm at the point where I'm almost falling asleep on camera. That's how tired I currently am. So yes, sorry. have a fantastic evening. I hope you guys tune in tomorrow. See you guys around. Good night. Have a fantastic time. Sorry, it's short. See ya.